Okay, the goal of this video is to show you how to draw a rotation, and I'm going to rotate my quadrilateral ABCD around point R. And in order to do this, I'm going to need a protractor and a ruler. I could use a compass if I would like to. So I also have my bullseye compass here to help me out. Notice my bullseye compass has a protractor at the bottom, has rulers on the sides. This protractor has a ruler across the bottom, and then it's also the protractor. So both tools can do this whole thing. So the first thing I need to do is draw a segment from point R to point D. So from point R to point D, and I think I'll use the bullseye compass. So from point R to point D. Okay, segment is drawn. Use protractor to measure a 60-degree angle counterclockwise with RD as one side. So I'm going to take my protractor and I'm going to go counterclockwise. So I'm placing my bullseye on R, placing the edge of my line at the edge of my protractor, and I'm coming around 60 degrees. And 60 degrees is right there. Then I can draw my line coming off here. And I want my line to come off there. It needs to be the same distance. So I can either use a compass to copy it, or I can just measure it with a ruler. So this first one I'm going to measure with a ruler. Now I'll use the compass part. So I put the bullseye on one of my points. I put the open circle on the other one. And then I can come down here. And I need my line from R through the point I've drawn to give me 60 degrees. And then if I take and put my bullseye on R, I can make a point here. And that point is now D prime. So that point has been reflected. So I took my bullseye, I measured it from R over to D, then I took it around and I put a point from R to D prime along the line I had drawn. So there's my D prime. And then I need to do the same thing with the other points, A, B, and C. So I'm going to take a different color and I'll do A. So I'm going to put a line through A. So put my point on A, draw a line, use that as the edge, and I can use my other protractor if I like. So I put the edge of my protractor where 0 is on the line, and I put my vertex at the point, and I go to 60 degrees, which is right there. I draw my segment coming out, or my ray coming out, and then I could measure this thing. So that distance is right at 2 inches. So I can come right out here, 2 inches. And there's A prime. Okay, I can do the same thing with B. So I draw a line from my point through B. Use my protractor, put my bullseye on the point. Put the edge on my line, measure 60 degrees, 60 is right there, make my segment come down, and then measure the distance from B to R, measure the distance from R out to B prime. And I got one last one to do. So R to C, which is my farthest one. R out to C. Draw my segment. Use my protractor. Get 60 degrees for that line. And 60 degrees right there. Draw that line out. Measure from C to R. Measure from R to C. and there's C prime. And then I can sketch it in, so I need to connect here. And I could probably do this in black so it shows up better. So I'm going to connect A prime to D prime to C prime to B prime, and A prime to B prime. And there I have my shape. It's been rotated 60 degrees around point R. And so you get two shapes that look like perspective drawings, because basically that's kind of what we're making here, is making sure the two are in perspective to each other, but with a 60-degree rotation to them.